Welcome back to another episode of the Dev Blog. As you can see, I am doing fine. Didn't have a stroke or anything in the last video. Don't know what happened, but yeah, I feel fine now. So, we's good. Let's dive right into things. I fixed a crash from the cartographer mod, which I don't think I even have any of those around. I should really just leave a basic one, a shabby cartographer's table sitting around up here someplace. Should make like a little map thing here with some maps. Ooh, actually. Anyways, I fixed a crash with this. I forget exactly what the error was, but it had something to do with form specs and something. I know, I remember the error very well. I also fixed the little bug. We want detail level 2. Thanks. I'm just gonna run around spawn here. I don't think that's gonna really help us do much, but you know, we'll see what happens. But so yeah, there was a bug with the code where if you were using, I think Minetest 5.3, maybe even 5.2 dev, there was some change in the form specs and form spec versions, and the code was actually coded incorrectly. For the mod was coded incorrectly, rather. So it would just cause a crash no matter what. It wasn't the fault of anything I did necessarily, specifically. Oh, I left my speakers turned on. That's cool. So yeah, that is fixed. So now you can actually look at maps. Oh, wow, that is so very not useful. It shows the ground below, not the ground here. All right, well, looks like we have a new player who has just hopped on the server and has no idea what they're doing, which is fine. I'm just going to throw this little map right here. Yay, you can look at it and see nothing. That's very helpful. Okay, so that was fixed. Oh, this was reported, sort of, by somebody. The white fabric didn't show you how to create it. So now that is added. You know what, I should really do the same for all of the colored fabrics, though they're in the dyeing station. I should really add that into, because somebody wanted to make one of the stations. I'm assuming sewing station. Yeah, but they couldn't figure out how to make the fabric. I should add the dye in as well, but okay. Yeah, let's take a look at the big change here. Seeds. So, oh, this hasn't pushed live yet. This is horrible. So by the time this video goes live, hopefully these changes will be live. Barley seed has an actual picture of barley seed, as does rye seed. We have corn kernels. We have the oat seed. We have rice grains. We have wheat seed. And all of them should be usable in the threshing machine. So for example, if we get, well, you know, let's go ahead and get the corn, because I gotta explain some stuff with corn anyway. So corn has changed a little bit. We're gonna put this to fast speed. So corn, when you harvest a corn plant, you now get an ear of corn, and there's a chance that you get a corn kernel. And then the ears of corn you can throw into the threshing machine here, and you'll get hay instead of corn cobs. I didn't feel like writing custom code to give you corn cobs, which would have 0 use, just like hay does. Well, it doesn't really have 0 use. You turn to straw blocks, and I think you can use it to create fuel pucks as well. I'm not 100% sure. But all of the grains should now be possible to get from the threshing machine and then grind down into flour. So that should finally be finished. I want to say I changed something with rice. Yeah, this is a terrible texture. It needs to be redone. So rice, when you harvest it, the rice plant, you now get this rice sheave here, and you have a chance of getting some rice seeds. And then these rice sheaves you can throw into the threshing machine to get more rice seeds. So yeah, that's all of the grains you should be able to process through. I don't remember I don't remember how this works. I don't know. Did I add all the flour recipes in? Okay, so the barley is there. Corn is, that's the multigrain. It just uses any of group flours. The oat flour, rice flour, rye flour, and wheat flour. Nice, 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 nice. So those are all added and working. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. Oh, there was a weird bug with sprinting that I won't be able to trigger because I fixed it. But basically, I don't know why I'm even doing this. I can just free move out. Okay, here we go. All right, so there is an invisible wall around spawn, as you may have discovered by now, that you can't go anywhere to. You're just kind of stuck here, unless you use the spawn command or use a home command to get back home. But if you sprint, oh, I can't sprint because I have fast enabled. Let's see here. I want to do revoke admin fast. And now I should be able to enable fast, and I should be able to sprint. There we go. So I'm sprinting on this invisible surface, and it's not crashing the server, which it was before. And it's kind of weird. Basically what the issue was, the sprint mod looks at the node you're standing on and grabs the tiles from it to create the particles. So if I go, get out of that dude's head, go to third person view here, and sprint. Okay, I don't even see any particles. What? There's supposed to be like some particle effect or something when you sprint? I don't see any particles. Well, I don't know, but it was crashing the server and it doesn't anymore because I fixed it. And so that's good. It's always good to have crashes fixed. And then the last thing isn't really code related, but it is server related, so I will mention it. Actually, just the morning of recording this, which I'm recording this the Saturday before it goes live, I did some upgrades on the server, and Mindtest is now running off of an SSD. So I just copied over the Mindtest binary and all of the, pretty much the Mindtest directory I just copied onto the SSD. And so hopefully that gives us some better performance. The SSD has better read and write speeds and access speed. The hard drive it had been on, I thought I wrote it down someplace, maybe not. I think had a read speed of 150 megabytes a second. The SSD has 216 megabyte reads a second. I didn't check the write speeds because it gave some scary warning about don't do this on drives that have important data because data can be destroyed or damaged or lost or something. So yeah, I didn't. That's cool. So I didn't do that. Oh, and they put a little glass roof on it. But is it access speeds? Something like how fast it can seek to a specific file, which I don't know if that really makes any difference with the map. I'm not really sure how that all stuff works. But it had an access speed of like 3, I think it was milliseconds, and the hard drive had 15, I think. So it's 5 times faster at accessing files or finding files or something. I don't know. All I know is theoretically it will hopefully make the server perform a little better with less lag, hopefully. Because that's honestly the only thing left that I can do to try to improve server performance, because the CPU's not getting taxed. It like runs at 20% tops. Also, I think there may have been some issues because people are blowing up a lot of TNT. And obviously that causes issues. So I thought about... Interesting. I thought about trying to do some code changes to TNT to make it that it won't run when there's too many people online or something, but I haven't touched that yet. Because as I mentioned in last week's video, and I will mention again in this week's video, I have another larger project that's going on right now, so I don't have a whole lot of time to be devoting to the server right at this very moment. This is an interesting little hut. So yeah, that is it for updates for this week. Oh, also, I will mention, I added a contribution guidelines to the code repository. So if you were interested in doing any code contributions, there is now some code guidelines and some guidelines for like files for the models, textures, etc., etc. This roof looks different. Maybe not. So yeah, that is it for this week. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week for some more updates, which again will be on the lower side of things because again I've got that other project going on. And if you want to join the server, info is on my website, which is linked down in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.